Hello everyone, good to link up with you again today. What we are going to be talking about today is titled Let Him Know. Yes, you heard me well. Let him know. By the time we are done with this talk, you will now know why I decided, or I chose this topic. I decided to give this talk, this very topic. Let him know. Is that guy in your life getting more serious with you? The relationship is getting more sizzling, and both of you are trying to end up together. He has taken you to his family, to his father, his mother, even to his siblings, and they've all welcomed you as his wife to be. And you have brought him home to your own family, to your parents and your siblings, introducing him as a person who is asking for your hand in marriage, and your family accepted him. Have you started a marriage lecture in your church? Because that's what so many churches do these days. They know marriage is very strong institution, and before one ventures into it, you have to be matured. Then there's this department, marriage department, that will begin to lecture you guys, both of you, on what it takes to be married, or what marriage institution is all about, because it's not easy. Have you started that? Both of you are just on the verge of knotting it up. That's very good. But now is the time that you need to let him know certain things about yourself. Yeah, let him know. I'm not saying that you should begin to open up so much and now begin to tell him how you were a prostitute or how many abortions you had. Such information can scatter the head of any right thinking man, because if there's any little delay in conception, he'll begin to refer to that. Remember, you told me how many abortions you had. That could be what is delaying your pregnancy. Remember how you told me the number of men that slept with you, that they were even uncountable. It's not what I'm talking about. It's not what I'm talking about here. But what I'm talking about are those things that might have given you a dent in your name, in your family name. Okay? Let him know. Let him know how they say that in your village compound or your family that you guys are osu or outcasts. Let him know. Open up to him. Let him know. And when he asks you what's the meaning of that, you tell him that was what your father told you and your siblings. The same way his own father told him that he started so many years ago. Tell him, let him know. He ought to know. So that nobody now threatens you with that kind of information. If you just say now, go and tell that guy that wants to marry you how you are Usu, how your family is Usu. Let him know. Let him know how you were born out of wedlock, that your mother had you before she got married due to accidental pregnancy. Let him know that you never got to meet your father, and some people have been calling you bastard. Let him know. If he loves you, if he truly loves you, he will accept you with your flaws. Love is very strong. It conquers everything. Let him know. Don't allow anybody to tell him, those unfriendly friends of yours, to tell him, I'm going to tell him that you are a bastard. Have you told him that you don't even know your father, and that you are a product of accidental pregnancy? Don't give that room. Don't give that space. Let him know. Let him know that your parents are divorced. That yes, you brought him home, and both of them came together and pretended as if all was well just to welcome you. Let him know that they are divorced and they are living in separate places. Let him know. Let him know. Let him know about that secret child of yours that you had, that your grandmom is helping you to nurture in your village. Let him know. If he truly loves you, he will accept you. Don't give anybody room to begin to belabor you with, or threaten you with, I'm going to tell him that very secret. Tell him. I'm going to tell him so that he will leave you, so that he will take his engagement ring from you. Be the person to tell him. Open up. Be transparent. If he truly loves you, he will accept you the way you are. Let him know how you used to bedwet, even in university, and your roommates were making mockery of you. Let him know how you tried your best to stop, but it was difficult. Even after consulting your doctor, who advised you to reduce your water intake once it's 5 p.m. and you did that and the thing continued. You just see yourself in your dream, easing yourself, and by the time you wake up, you now discover that you have soiled your bed with your urine, and your roommates used to mock you. Let him be the one to know, so that none of your roommates or none of your friends will now threaten you and begin to say, I'm going to tell him that he used to bedwet. Have you told him that you used to bedwet? Let him know that yes, you used to bedwet, but that you had to pray, you had to seek God's face, and God delivered you, and you no longer do it. Because most times, this very habit is spiritual. Most people don't know about this. Let this be the topic of another day. It's spiritual. Let him know that you used to do it, but that God delivered you, and that you are free, you no longer do it. Let him know. Let him know how you used to be, how you used to take weed, and you go addict, because you started mingling with bad friends on campus who taught you how to smoke, but you no longer do it because you went for rehab and you went for church deliverance, and God saw you through. Let him know. Don't allow your friend, those friends, unfriendly friends, I call them unfriendly friends, fair weather friends, who will only come to you when all is well, and when all is no longer well, they will not threaten you with certain things you did in the past. I will tell him, that you used to be an Igbo addict, how you used to sneak at the back of the hostel on campus and smoke weed. Have you told him? Tell him all this. Let him know, so that when they come to him with all those things, he'll be able to say, yes, I'm aware, she told me, and they will keep quiet. Tell him. Let him know how people say that in your village or in your lineage, people hardly live above 50. Let him know, so that when both of you are married, both of you can be saying the right prayers, targeted prayers. You can actually pray yourself out. The prayer of a couple can be very powerful. Let him know. Let him know. Don't allow a third party to tell him. Don't allow the third party to tell his mom. Let him know, and let him say, okay, fine, I accept her the way she is, because I love her. Don't begin to hide anything. Some ladies can be so secretive that even their real age, they hide it away from their spouse. So much that when the man gets to know, the man will be jeopardized. I said, but this is not your real age. Why did you lie? Let him know. It makes you freer. You feel free. It's transparent. And when both of you are praying, you're praying the right prayers. And when you are letting him know, yes, he's bound to be shocked. He's bound to ask you questions. Answer those questions lovingly. If he truly loves you, he'll come back and say, okay, fine, I'm accepting you the way you are because I love you. Let him know all these things, so that nobody will threaten you with your past life. I'm going to tell him what you did 5 years ago, so that he will leave you. Okay? Let me stop here. Share this video. Drop your comment on the comment section. All right? Thank you for listening. One love.